everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, back with some more Spyro 2 Gateway to Glimmer. Although, ironically, as the Let's Play progresses, we're getting further and further away from the eponymous Gateway to Glimmer, i.e. the portal. The portal, the magician, the toilet, and other memes and more money. There we go. I've got my entire quota of unfunny words out right at the beginning of the episode, so we don't need to worry about it, and I think I said in the last episode that this is one of those games where with the underwater controls, they give you a fast option and a slow option, i.e. in this case, charge or paddle. And I would say this is one of those games where you never use the slow option, but here's me using it now, and it's actually still pretty quick even for a slow motion in water option. So, this kind of, like following on from the story in the last episode about how my first experience with this game, I believe was with a friend who had a pirated copy of the game that, like, it didn't know it was pirated, it just wouldn't load the first two main levels outside of Glimmer, so you wouldn't be able to get this far without glitching past Moneybags and not paying him the money to form the bridge, but we didn't know that was even possible as a child, so the fact that there's more to this homeworld blew my mind. And so here we are. There are buttons that move these portcullises, and all the portcullises are connected to all of the buttons, so any of them that start off up will move down and vice versa when you press the buttons, and all the buttons are interconnected.
You're well on your way, Spyro. Keep collecting talismans to help us defeat Ripto before he can take over Avalar. Oh, and keep collecting those orbs, too. The professor thinks they will help you get back to the Dragon World.
So we finally have an answer as to why the hell we're collecting those. And oh, look, a ladder that we can't use. God.
I saw something shiny at the top of this wall. You could probably get it, but you'll have to learn how to climb first.
I'd forgotten that even once you learn how to swim, you still can't 100% this homeworld on your first visit. My god, this game. Also, the live counter goes over 9. I'd forgotten. So, next batch levels, there's Sunny Beach, and over here is Hurricos, which doesn't really tell you anything. It sounds a little bit like haricot vert, which is a type of bean, I think. I don't know, I don't speak French, what are you talking about? I totally didn't study it for several years, and would very much like to get back into it, thank you please. Now, this up here, how does this work? We have an empty portal. Please explain it, Laura.
Nice work, Spyro. The orbs you're carrying have activated this special portal. You won't find a talisman in the Ocean Speedway, but if you're fast, you'll get lots of treasure. Have fun!
So yes, this is this game's version of the flight levels. We have speedway levels now. This is what they've been replaced with, and this is what takes their place in all subsequent games. Now, you might think, press this button, open that door. Don't open that door. I mean, you could, but just don't. Just fly around to this balcony instead, because if you open that door, then this door will close, which will shut you out of getting this orb. I mean, you can just press the button to reverse the process, but, you know. Is it frustrating that I showed the solution before I fully showed the puzzle? Just, you have to think outside the box, go outside the balcony, because, like, you can press this button, and you can quite clearly see that there's a room beyond there, but you can't get there because opening that door closes this door. Yay, logic puzzles. Now, I want to do Ocean Speedway in this episode just to show off that it exists, so do bear with, but I will come back because I want to look at the rest of this half of the homeworld first. Bothers me that we can't get up there unless, like, we can if we do a swimming in the air glitch, which I've never tried, and I wouldn't want to do glitches just to complete this homeworld on my first visit because that's not an organic procedure within the game. I mean, it can be done, but it's not something that you're expected to do. And so it feels really cramped in here with this wall here. Then again, I would say that because I know what happens with that wall in a short moment, but first, here's another speech.
Hi, Spyro! This talisman door will only open if you have all 6 Summer Forest talismans. Once the door is open, Ripto and Crush will be waiting in the dungeon.
So yeah, this is like a boss door, and it checks for progress. So in order to get a talisman, you just have to reach the end of any given level and talk to the character at the end of it. It really is straightforward, you don't have to do any of the orb side quests, and also here's Moneybags.
Say, Spyro, you see this wall here? I bet you're dying to know what's on the other side. If only I had a few more gems, I might be able to remember how to lower the wall.
400? You charged more to learn how to swim! Gah!
Yes, the sparkling beauty of those gems seems to have jogged my memory.
So yes, it feels cramped because the wall isn't normally there. That's it, it's just permanently lowered now. And there's a portal on the other side, go figure. Well, I mean, they did say there are 6... Well, Elora did say there are 6 talismans in here. We've seen Sunny Beach and Hurricos, and the 3 that we've got already, so Glimmer, Idle Springs and Colossus, and now there's also Aquaria Towers, which is it's a water level, as you can tell, but it's an interesting water. It's a water level with a difference. But it's also not my problem right now. So, we have our mission to get all the talismans. We know what orbs do, at least, sort of. The orbs we have so far opened a portal. Oh yeah, and Hunter's down here. I never actually spoke to him. Explain your thing, Hunter.
Your game camera is currently in passive mode. This mode requires you to control the camera yourself and moves more slowly. If you like, I can change the game camera to use active mode. In active mode, the camera moves much faster. Okay, I won't change it. Remember, you can change the camera mode yourself by using the options menu.
I do like that that's a thing they put in the game with a character attached to it to explain it, I will say. Because, I never fully understood it as a child. I think I always played it with the camera in active, and I don't remember what the... Like, apart from speed of movement and lack of ability to control, I don't remember what the real fundamental differences are. Anyway, Ocean Speedway. So, this is the evolution of the flight level. So, forget Crystal Flight, forget Icy Flight. Speedways now. They function identically, except now pressing the A button makes you move upwards a little bit for some reason. But other than that, they're fundamentally the same. There are 4 groups of 8 things with one exception, and you just get them all within the allotted time. And there is typically an objective best route through the level, and where is the next arch? I don't like not being able to see. There we go. Get you on the way past as well. So as you can tell, we're getting arches, cars, rings, and also something else, and I don't remember exactly what it is because I know I'm getting this mixed up with the Speedway from the 3rd game, or the game that comes after this one. Which way do I go? The path is intersecting itself. Oh, maybe not. Boats! Boats, as I've heard them pronounced. I suspect I should have left the arches till 3rd. Should have done the cars first. Oh well. That's the joy and the miracle and the flap gene of, doing this amnesia run style. Like, I've not played this game in a while, I don't remember what the correct order of doing things is because they're not quite as intuitive as in Spyro 1. So I'm probably going to fail! Yay. Now, touching the water is an instant fail. In this game you can supercharge if you land on land. Like, I thought that was a thing in Spyro 1, it is not. And we're probably going to fail because I've lost the last boat, and unless... fucked it up. So, you get 80 gems per everything that you complete, and 80 gems further for getting them all in a single run, within the allotted time. So let's see if we can do it a bit less shittily this time. So I'm guessing what it wants us to do is go through the rings and then do the cars, which, if that's the case, they probably want to supercharge through them rather than flying around the course. I don't know which way it wants us to go, so I'm just going to go this way. Even though I just remembered I'm terrible at controlling the supercharge, so maybe this was a bad idea. Hey. But it is faster than flying. There is that to consider. So the trade-off is the controls are a lot worse, but at least... Oh, apparently the archers are saved till last. I didn't even consider this as a possibility. Also worth noting that there are a load of dolphins and such like overviewing the brutal murder of the populace of Carthaginia. Except they're not Carthaginians, they're boats. They're boats and boat opticians, by which I mean the people driving the boats. You heard it here first, there are no sailors, only boat opticians and Carthaginians. Why have I got Carthage on my mind? I haven't studied just classical civilizations in general in ages, and that's misleading. The thing in the bottom left seems to indicate that, no, I was right to come after archers second, but that's not the optimal order of doing things, and I just realized that the archers look so weird because the structure that they're a part of is continued underneath the ground, apart from this one and this one. Like, they're part of pincer-shaped structures, they're not just weird-looking archers. Oh, I only just realized this now. So there we go. We don't get the fancy flying around in the air thing this time. We just get a fade to black and hey, you did it. Now, you might think, that's it, let's return to Summer Forest. But to that, I say, let's retry. Now that we've done the level, the time counts up instead of down. And, well, I'll let the guidebook do the talking on this one, because we've got everything there is to get here, right? No, we're 66% done. There is an orb here. There is no talisman, but there is an orb. Yeah, that's what I like about the speedways in this level. There is one orb hidden in there, but there's so much more to it than just an orb being hidden. So here are the dolphins I was talking about. We can kill them if we want, doesn't really matter. But the one to look out for here is the one that looks obviously different from the rest.
I guess now you think you're pretty good. Well, let's see if you're as good as the current champion.
See, this blew my mind when I found it as a child. Like, whoa, the speedways have more stuff in them.
Alright, Spyro. Meet the course champion. In order to win the race, you must fly through all the rings. Beware if Hunter flies through a ring first. The ring will start to shrink.
4 stars, yeah, that's fair. This is a bit trickier, and I don't remember why. So, do we have to beat him in a race or just get to the goal? I don't remember. Like, if he gets to the goal first, does it matter as long as I get through all the rings? I probably should have paid more attention. Ah, Hunter, where the fuck it? 420. No, Spyro, turn. Wow.
It's not as easy as you thought, is it? Are you ready to try again?
Yes, actually. Now, originally, I thought you had to kill all dolphins before she'd even spawn, so...
Alright, Spyro.
Also, spoilers. Hunter is the course champion. It's not my fault he took an unexpected item in the bagging area turn. Is this just one of those episodes where everything I say is just word association? Because that's just how my commentary flows sometimes, like diarrhea, no tampon. There you go, Hunter. I had a feeling you'd go this way. And I'd imagine that in this instance as well, hitting water is an instant fail. So don't do that. Hunter, where are you going? Which unexpected turn are you about to take next? There is no slow down button. There is only fast and more fast. Because, you know, got to go fast, thinking of fast. It is a speedway after all. Now, in the next game after this one... Oh, good. I'm glad that the next ring wasn't until there, otherwise I surely would have failed. In the next game after this one, there's even more still to the speedway levels, besides just, the main speedway and then a hidden mission. I like the fact that they carried on the tradition of the hidden mission, but there's other option as well, which you'll see when I get to that game, because that's that game and this is this game, and there's going to be at least a year separating the two, as is my style and plan when it comes to Let's Playing games. Out of my goddamn way, Hunter. This isn't a race and I'm going to win anyway.
Great job, Spyro. That was some excellent flying.
Why, thank you. And for that, we get an orb. Which means we're done here. Yay! I'm glad you acknowledged that. And that's how speedways work in this game. I love how, with every game in the original trilogy, they make it a little bit more complicated every time. It's aesthetically pleasing. Now, that gives us a weird amount of time left in the episode, and I don't think we can do a complete level in that time. So, what do? A good question indeed. I guess we'll just get started on the next level and finish it in the next one, because levels in this game are big and full of character, and so it shouldn't come as a surprise they take more than one episode to complete, I guess. So, to Hurricos. You, might recognize a voice actor from this level, and maybe some of the enemies that look like other properties by Insomniac as well. 2 separate IPs coming together in one strange level. You'll see. I like how the name of the level doesn't really give anything away, but it still sounds like the perfect name for this sort of area, because, like, this place looks like a Hurricos.
We've always had trouble with the gear grinders, but now they've set up force fields to separate us. If you can find diodes, you can use them to turn off the force fields. I think there's a diode around here somewhere, but my eyesight isn't what it used to be.
You don't say, it's literally right there. But yeah, this is a sort of, like, weather conditions and, like, aesthetic that would come to mind if you ever, like, just on hearing the word Hurricos. Like, it doesn't mean anything, but this is what it sounds like it means, if you know what I mean. So, this level, you collect diodes to get through the place. As a child, I misheard it as dial, even though it says right there in the subtitles, and I was a special child. Now, some people seem to think that this enemy and the robot thing that he was working with are based on Ratchet and Clank. I don't know the accuracy of that statement. Just, it's a big orange spanner-wielding guy and a robot. I mean, Ratchet himself isn't that big. It's adorable, though. But it may be like a distant homage, it may be a coincidence. The world may never know. Also, my face itches, and there's nothing I can do about it. There's a rainbow and a robot. And also some rats. The fodder here are rats. Wait, when did I was going to say, when did I take damage? Oh yeah, just now. Doi. This is also not a no-hit run, just like Kirby's Epic Yarn, which is going on at the same time. And also, the other IP that I mentioned, SpongeBob. The funny thing is, when I played this game as a child, I vaguely recognized the Electrolls' voices. They're all voiced by the same person. That's one thing with levels. It seems like pretty much every character in any given world is voiced by the same person. They all have the same voice. But as a child, it never occurred to me who it was that was doing the voices. I just thought, oh, that's a vaguely familiar sounding voice. But I couldn't pin who it was because I didn't really grow up with SpongeBob. But yes, this is SpongeBob Nerd Place with also other stuff. Which reminds me, I once forgot what the name of the forest temple in Twilight Princess was called, and so... Really? You're not going to say any words to us, Zoe? Okay then. Well, I forgot what it was called, and so I ended up calling it the very temple. Ooh, it's nature. So if I ever Let's Play that game, which I have no plans to in the immediate future, but you never know, plans may change, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to stick to that name throughout the entire project, even though it's not really a very relevant thing throughout most of the game, but still, that's what I intend to call it if ever I do that. Also, there's a spirit particle gate we need to kill 18 and use their souls. Rude child. At least they're not as bad as the attack frogs from bloody, what was it called again? The Misty Bog, that was it. The, frothy toilet. So the problem is, much like the attack frogs, they're guaranteed to land a hit on you if you're careless about how you attack them. Like, if you charge in the general vicinity of one of those Ratchet-esque enemies, then they're gonna splat you, because that's not how you defeat them. So they're not going to be resistant. Like, they're not going to stop and let you attack them because you can't attack them, if that makes any sense. And similarly, the attack frogs in the first game, if you try to charge at them, they know they can hit you before you get close enough to damage them, so they do damage before you can get to them. So you have to flame them to kill them. I think it's either that or the other way around. Anyway, here's a place. Die. And then you also. Nope, you fucked off. Okay, well, what is the crack here then?
Oh, these gear grinder thieves keep taking our lightning stones. If you can replace them all and activate our generator, I'd be very grateful.
So we have an orb side quest. I don't remember how this works because we have an ostensibly unending supply of enemies coming to stop the... No, hang on a minute. No, there's a thing... I remember. This confused the hell out of me as a child, and as you can tell, it sort of confused me now as well. So you need to sort of put the lightning stones back in place to lure the enemies out and then kill them. Because ostensibly, it's a game of freeze tag where you need to put the lightning stones back into place, and then the thieves keep coming out and removing them, and basically you just need to leave them misaligned long enough that one of the gear grinders will turn up and interfere, and then you have to kill them. And that, for some reason, as a child, I never thought that was the objective. I thought there was just an unending supply of these enemies that you just had to deal with, whilst filling in all these blanks. Thank you, Jeeve. Thank you, Jeeve. It's like Jeeves, but slightly lower budget. We couldn't afford a proper posh butler name. Also, where the Foogle are my Foogle? Where are my Fooglies? This isn't Spy Kids. What? I haven't seen that film in ages, even though I have it on DVD. I made it my personal mission to collect the entire 4-part trilogy that is Spy Kids, just so that I could, watch them and understand what the hell was the deal with those films. Okay, so the lightning stones are now all in place. Except there's you there being a fuck trumpet. I will murder you. No mercy. So that's one. Here's another. So I don't know if they're all tied to a specific stone, or if you just need to get good. This may take a while. This could be what this episode is, and I'll have to leave you on a cliffhanger as to how Hurricos ends once we're done. Where have the others appeared? I never fully understood how this game worked, but I've already explained this to you. You don't need subsequent explications. Purple fucker! Oh, I saw another one. I saw some flailing polygons. There we go, this has finally started to pick up. Unless you've... Nope, you're just hiding over here. Did that kill you? Or did you vault over me? Was that your death animation, or were you just being some hardcore parkour? And as you can tell, there is a little bit of auto-aim when you spit these things up the generators, but, I mean, why not? The objective here is to kill the enemies, not to relight the fire. Which is a song. Wait, where did this other lightning stone come from? Where does it live? Who does it require taking to? This minigame confuses me! I used that voice in Spyro 1 as well, in Treetops, and to this day, it sounds like the voice of someone who is either constipated or attempted to fart quietly but ended up shitting their pants, and I don't appreciate being associated with such imagery. And I swear I killed the enemy and it did the death animation, but it didn't add to my counter unless it did. Because I'm just that astute. Murder times! So it would seem that they don't even, like, take the stones away, they just sort of pick them up and drop them somewhere. Unless they do disappear after a while, in which case... no. I have been bamboozled by this game's controls. So one keeps jumping over me and vanishing. This is duly noted. I don't remember what the logic of this is. I'm doing my best, I promise. It's probably not interesting to watch, but hey, I'm trying. I'm very trying. This game is trying me and my patience. Also, it doesn't help that it's one of those hot days, and if you've been on my channel for a while, you'll know that I find it an absolute bitch baby to commentate while it's warm. I seem to recall there being some ungodly, hellish sound effects associated with this minigame, but I've got the sound on my TV turned down, so if they're there, I can't hear them. Can you just stay dead? Thank you. Harnessed to Christmas. So if there is some sort of deadly sound effect happening, I can only apollousagize. Which, again, isn't that like a type of bean? What is it with me and beans lately? I'm quite literally full of beans. Oh yeah, did I actually mention that, yes, when it's warm, I find it difficult to commentate and hold focus and stuff. Oh, you purple fuck trumpets, are you still here? You are still here. Can you just not? Thank you. God, stop bullying the stereotypical nerds who all sound like SpongeBob for some reason. I know that completely missed, and I don't think it has much of an impact because we don't really need to restore the generators until all of the fuck trumpets are dead anyway. At some point, I really should start cutting this out, but I mean, we're nearly done at this point, so I might as well leave it in. Yeah. I fully recognise that there is immense irony in me saying that and then immediately cutting to a sped-up section, but I mean, they just weren't spawning, because I think I need to have all of the things in place before they even consider spawning in the first place. Did I just see you up here? Yes, there you are. You will suffer for your crimes. Honestly. And then now they're all dead, put that back into place, and that should be orb times, please.
Thank you, Spyro. I found this shiny thing mixed up with our lightning stones. Please, take it as a reward.
With pleasure. I've never enjoyed that little minigame, or side, shoop, whatever, but it's been dealt with now. So, on that note, I will say that I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons, and in the next episode we will do more of this. Well, specifically more of Hurricos, and maybe another level. But you'll just have to join me for that then, so see you then.